Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know that feeling, right? That little knot that tightens in your stomach when you realize you need to have the talk, the one that starts with those three little words. What are we? Today, we're going to unpack exactly why that simple question has become so incredibly hard to ask and dig into the deep-seated fear of commitment it really represents. Okay, so first things first, let's put a name to this modern-day limbo. It's called the situationship. This is where you might be going on dates, you're intimate, maybe you've even met each other's friends. You're acting like a couple in pretty much every way, except for the label. It's this romantic gray area, a connection without clear lines or commitment, that's become a huge and, let's be honest, often frustrating part of dating today. And that really gets us to the heart of it all. Why has commitment become so genuinely scary for so many of us? What is it about making things official that can bring up this real physical sense of anxiety? As we're about to see, it's not just about dodging a title. It often points to some much deeper fears about loss, about failure, or even about losing a part of ourselves. To even begin to answer that, we have to understand the world we're all trying to date in. Some people have called this the age of ambiguity. It's a landscape where these undefined relationships, well, they aren't the exception anymore. A lot of the time, they're the starting point, or even the default. So let's break down what this world actually looks and feels like. Research has actually put a finger on this feeling of uncertainty, and they've found some key traits of a situationship. Of course, there are no clear labels like boyfriend or girlfriend. There's this constant nagging feeling of not knowing where things are headed. And there's a huge emphasis placed on your own personal freedom and flexibility, which, you guessed it, is exactly why that "what are we" talk gets avoided at all costs. And maybe the most interesting part? These things are often held together by just enough communication to feel real, but not so much that you'd ever have to make a decision. So we've kind of seen the what of the modern dating scene, but to really get to the why behind our own personal fears, we have to look inward. A lot of the time, our feelings about commitment aren't really new. They're actually rooted way back in our personal history, in something psychologists call your attachment blueprint. Take a look at these four main adult attachment styles. They're usually formed when we're kids, based on our very first relationships. If you had really consistent, loving care, you probably developed a secure attachment. You feel pretty good about yourself and other people. But for a lot of us, that blueprint is a bit more complicated. Someone with an anxious, preoccupied style really craves closeness but lives with this constant fear of being abandoned. Then there's the dismissive, avoidant person who values their independence so much that commitment feels like a cage, a loss of freedom. And the fearful avoidant style is a really tough spot to be in. You want intimacy so badly, but you are just terrified of getting hurt. Seeing which one of these rings true for you can be a huge first step. Now, what's really powerful is how this blueprint creates these subconscious scripts that run in the back of our minds. Psychologists call them relational schemas. Just think of it like a simple if-then program you learned a long, long time ago. For someone who's secure, that script might say, if I'm vulnerable and open up, then my partner will accept me. But for someone with an insecure attachment, that exact same script can end with a deep-seated belief that they'll be rejected. And that core belief can make the idea of fully committing feel like a massive, unbearable risk. But listen, it's not all just about our internal psychology. There are some really powerful forces on the outside that have completely reshaped the dating game. So now we need to talk about the technology that's in all of our pockets and this wild phenomenon known as the paradox of choice. Just look at this number for a second. Over 1,000 potential matches, with just a few minutes of swiping on a dating app. This is the kind of volume we're talking about. Now, on the surface, this feels like a huge advantage, right? It's like a buffet with endless options. But psychologically, this illusion of infinite choice can actually do the exact opposite. It can make real, deep commitment harder, not easier. And this has some serious consequences. When our brains get hit with too many options, they experience something called decision fatigue. They literally just get tired of choosing. This creates a mindset of reduced commitment because there's always that nagging thought in the back of your head that someone better could be just one swipe away. So why would you invest deeply in the person right in front of you? Our expectations get higher and higher, and we shift from looking for a good enough partner to hunting for a mythical, perfect one. And the end result of this whole cycle? Widespread emotional burnout. Okay, let's peel back one final layer here and get down to the hard science. Because underneath all the culture, the psychology, and the technology, our bodies are running on some pretty ancient biological software. There are powerful chemical forces at play that literally push and pull us toward connection. Now, this might sound a little strange, but a lot of what we know about human bonding actually comes from studying animals that are socially monogamous, like these little guys, prairie voles. Their bonding behavior is so predictable that scientists can map the exact brain circuits involved. And when they compare those findings with human neuroscience, like brain scans of people who are in love, they see the same brain regions light up. It gives us this incredible window into the biology of what it means to attach to someone. So what are these chemical forces? Well, the simplest way to think about it is as a push and a pull. The pull that draws us toward someone comes from neurochemicals like oxytocin and dopamine. They get released during good social moments and create feelings of pleasure and reward, and that makes us want to come back for more. But there's also a push. When we're separated from someone we've bonded with, the brain releases stress hormones like CRF, and that triggers anxiety. That bad feeling is actually designed to motivate us to get back together, to strengthen the bond. But the fear of ever feeling that separation anxiety can, weirdly enough, make some people afraid to form that deep bond in the first place. Okay, wow. So we've looked at the ambiguity of modern dating, our personal psychological blueprints, the paradox of choice on apps, and even the deep biology of bonding. I know it can feel like a lot, but here's the good news. A fear of commitment is not a life sentence. It's something you can understand, you can manage, and you can even overcome. So let's talk about a path forward. The key here is to remember that getting over this fear is a process, not a flip of a switch. Experts often suggest these 5 steps. First, take some time to really reflect on where your fears are coming from. Is it from your family, a really bad heartbreak? Second, actively try to reframe commitment. See it not as a trap, but as an opportunity for real connection and growth. Third, practice vulnerability in small, safe, manageable ways to slowly build up trust. Fourth, and this one is huge, communicate those fears. An understanding partner can be your greatest ally. And finally, just be patient with yourself. Allow the relationship to move at a speed that actually feels comfortable for you. Which really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We often think of commitment as this big finish line, an outcome that we have to reach. But what if that's just the wrong way to look at it? What if commitment isn't a destination at all, but it's a continuous choice that we get to make every single day? A choice to show up, to be vulnerable, and to invest in another person. Maybe changing that one perspective is the real key. For more videos like that, subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so you will be notified when we upload new videos in the future. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.